We're live.
Refresh.
Hello. We're live.
Build a MailChimp store for free.
Okay, hi everyone. Remember, we're still getting used to this. YouTube has changed a couple of things since we used to go live every week with their systems, but we're on now. So why don't we be nostalgic tonight and do what we used to do. Hello, Julius and Angela and Gilbert and Derek and Michael and Aranda and Dylan and Jeffrey and Frank and Lane and Alex and Terry and Bob and William and Miner and Jose and Joan and Gerald and Jim and Greg and Sapna. Did I already say Sapna?
All the peeps are here.
Oh, here, guys. Happy Sunday.
Have we talked about on Instagram that today is a special day for us?
We haven't. We're going to be posting after this live. We're going to be posting nothing big. But why don't you tell them what today is?
Yeah, today is October 17th, and 6 years ago today, we got married in our living room at one of the houses that we were renovating. We no longer lived there. It was the house before this one. And we got married in our living room with like maybe 15 people.
If that.
And the reason why we did that is because we decided that we did not want to spend money on a wedding, and we would rather spend that money on our kitchen.
Yes.
And I am still very happy that we did that. We spent $150 on our wedding.
No regrets.
No regrets.
Well, we have one.
Oh.
We wrote about it a couple years ago.
Uh-huh. And what is that? I remember.
It's what we wore.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only regret that we have. I don't know if you guys have been following us or been here for a while. Oh, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy
anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Yes, that's our biggest regret. If you guys have been here for a bit, then you've seen our wedding photos, and we're in plaid shirts and just like khaki pants, which we thought would be like kind of cute and relaxed at the time, but...
So I think for me, it was the fact that I was like, we're already committing to not having a wedding. Let's like really casual it down. And I wish I could go back and just like dress it up a little bit.
Yeah, I would dress it up a bit.
And we had big plans to, at one point, we were going to do a wedding venue. We were going to build one. That's why we purchased the land. Mm-hmm. And when the pandemic happened, we decided not to do that. But a part of doing the venue was that we were going to have a big 5-year celebration, and it just so happened that we were in a global pandemic for our 5 years. So
sadly,
maybe we'll do 10-year.
I know. My mom was talking to my sister, and my sister Sydney was like, "Yeah, their anniversary Sunday." And my mom was like, "Oh my gosh, are we going to celebrate? Let's have a party." And she was like, "Why would we celebrate their anniversary?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's a good question." But she meant the anniversary, like the 5-year party that we always planned to have. She thought maybe we'd have it this year.
Is the charcuterie still in there?
It's in bags.
Oh,
yeah, have it, eat it. I put it in like Ziploc bags. Yeah, we did a partnership tonight, and how these partnerships usually go, like collaborations, whatever you want to call it, where we partner with brands and companies. We usually shoot them like a month to 2 months in advance before they end up going live on social media. So tonight we shot a fun holiday campaign, and
where are the pepper ones? The little pepper ones?
Somewhere in there maybe. We shot a holiday one, and we kind of decorated for a little bit for Christmas, and I'm like really in the mood for Christmas now. I put Christmas music on while PJ was in the other room, and I'm like, I'm so ready for the holidays. Like, the clothes and the food and just like the feeling of family and coziness. I don't know. Love it. So, very ready for Christmas. PJ, a bunch of people. you have to open the new box because there was barely any left, and I just gave the rest to Mom. A bunch of people are saying happy anniversary, so thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, it's really sweet. Very, very sweet. Mary, hi Mary. It is very chilly here. It got down to 45 last night.
Oh, did it?
Yes, this morning at like 8 when we woke up, it was like
It felt so good.
47 degrees. Yeah, it feels amazing. So excited for all this chilly, cold weather.
Is there any more of that cheese?
There's not, but this is very similar if you want some.
Oh, it's right over here.
Sorry guys, we have not eaten dinner yet.
Yeah, we
And
didn't.
I
We
may
just
skip dinner and just do a charcuterie.
That's what I did.
speaking of chilly weather, Mary, this weekend was the Apple Festival, which is like an annual festival here in the town we live in. And it was so fun. We went yesterday with the kids, and then today the boys went with their aunt, and they just walked downtown and had face paint on, and it was one of those like small town moments that makes you grateful to live in a
Appreciate it.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, it was cute.
It was cute.
Thomas already said we did the charcuterie earlier, but he got this. Where did you get it at? Publix?
Yes,
It was the first time that we tried it, and it is so good.
very good.
It almost smells like barbecue sauce. But it has
Ever
like a
since-
bacon,
Yeah, ever since you said barbecue, that's all I taste now. I'm like,
but it has like
that.
red peppers and green peppers, and it's like kind of sweet, like barbecue sauce, and it has like bacon. So good.
So good. I know. Yeah, I loved it. James said, "God, you guys keep me young. I'm 29. I feel 60." LOL. Hilarious. Let's see. So, PJ, do you want to tell? Well, no, you're eating.
So what?
I was gonna say what book you're reading, but we can eat first.
Let me take this bite.
Yeah, eat. Oh, David said, "Thank you guys for recommending the Ninja Coffee Bar. I love it." Yes, we've had that thing for almost 4 years now, and we have the older model. They make David. You probably got like the newer model, but we love it.
Mhm.
It's like held up just as well as the day we got it, and we've never had an issue with it. Love it.
Yeah. So I am reading a book, and I am not a reader. However, tonight I discovered that when I thought back to like my college days, I actually really enjoyed reading the textbooks. But every time I try to read a book, if it's not a textbook, I don't like it.
Like like stories or
So what I realized is I like to learn and I like knowledge, but we just finished our 2020 taxes and filed them on the 15th, which is the extension date, and it was like down to the wire to even get that completed. And because of the type of business that we are in, tax deductions are a big factor in it, and I bought this book. And I'm only on page 34, but I'm obsessed with it. If you own your own business, I highly recommend getting this book. Maybe we'll put a link on Instagram so you can go to it. But yeah, I love it so much. And it has, like, I've already highlighted all these things in it. It's given me a lot of ideas for what we can use as deductions and expenses for our business for this year, which we
so grateful that you like that kind of stuff. I'm the exact opposite. I love like just literally the exact opposite type of book than that. I just do.
What else?
Well, a couple of people are saying that their birthdays are in November. I think Aranda said it and Dylan. And it's so sweet because
Happy early birthday.
happy birthday, but our middle son, his birthday's in November. My brother's birthday's in November. I was talking to my mom about it today. It's funny. My brother's birthday's in November, and so is Raya's. My mom's birthday's in January, and so is Anna's. And my younger sister's birthday is in April, and so is Alan's. And so it's like we're still just celebrating the same months. We don't have any like summer birthdays in our family. I mean, May, you're still in school, but I mean, like June, July. Is May's technically spring?
What about Amy's kids?
Theirs are all in like November and March. My older sister. So yeah. Anyways, fun little coincidence. So let's see. Let's read.
How was your anniversary? So, I asked Thomas yesterday if we could celebrate our anniversary on a different day, just because I knew that we had a campaign that we had to shoot, and then we were gonna have the kids with us also, and I think we want to celebrate just it be the two of us, so we needed somebody to babysit the kids, and I had to work on the downtown cottage because tomorrow they're going to start painting it, and it was not finished or ready to be painted.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to go over there and put down baseboards and some crown molding this morning, and I didn't get home until like 2, and then we had to shoot that partnership. And so I think we're going to celebrate Tuesday.
That's the plan for now.
And we know we want to just do some very basic stuff. We are going to originally we're going to go out to dinner. And I guess we still could do that, but we're going to do a matinee.
Yeah.
And either lunch or dinner. And
Yeah.
we'll have somebody babysit the kids. It'll be easier on us if it's a matinee movie.
Which I'm so fine with.
Because we haven't been to the movies in over a year now.
Almost, probably almost 2 years. I know. But now I'm trying to decide, do we see the movie first? We do the movie first, then dinner, right? Because if we eat first, or food, because if we eat first, then I feel like we'll get sleepy and fall asleep.
Maybe. I don't know. I think more so the real question is, what movie do we go? Because you mentioned seeing Bond.
I know what I want to see, yes.
But the Tom Hardy movie has gay undertones in it.
Oh, Venom.
Yes.
Oh.
And I watched the trailer for it, and it looks really good.
Does it? The first one was just okay.
So which movie should we see?
And if you guys have seen either of them, yeah, which one do you recommend?
No spoilers.
Yes,
So either the
please.
new James Bond movie or Venom. We both love Tom Hardy.
Oh my gosh. There was a period where we were like obsessed with him.
Mm-hmm.
I love him. Don says Bond, James Bond. Michael says James Bond. I mean, I'm like almost 100% sure the new James Bond has better reviews.
We'll look and see. Do you have your phone? Well, here, use mine.
My phone is right there.
Go to Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay, so let's look up the reviews to Venom and the new James Bond. Everyone is saying James Bond so far, PJ. So, they're right here. James Bond has an 84% certified fresh rating, and then Venom has a 60%. But I mean,
this is usually how we pick the movie.
Yeah, but Venom.
So we'll see the Bond movie.
The first Venom didn't get good reviews either, and it grossed $1 billion.
Did you say the percentage of it? 60%.
But we liked it. I mean,
Yeah.
so I don't always trust. Even though I'm big on critics and I'm big on like the ratings of movies, I don't always trust them. Rex loves Tom Hardy too. We're in good company. Frank says go do both. Do one in the afternoon, then food, and then the other movie at night.
Yeah.
Frank, we have children now. We can't do that. I would love to.
That would be fun though.
Wouldn't it?
The kids must have eaten all of these because
There's no more.
yeah, they're my favorite.
Were they? Yeah, they're like the spicy kind.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like them, I think. Speaking of the kids, guys, I feel so bad. We right before bed, I went upstairs and they were all coloring on Anna's rug, which they know not to do. They weren't coloring on it; they were coloring on paper on the rug, but they did get some marker on the rug. I was so upset, and so we put them to bed, and that was that. And then every time that happens, which doesn't happen often, but when it does, afterwards I'm like, I feel bad and I miss them and I want to go wake them up and hug them.
I thought you were going to talk about what we had an argument about earlier today.
Oh, no, but you can talk about that if you want. No, I'm talking about how I feel bad about bedtime.
Yeah, so the kids have scooters, and I'm always on them about not leaving the scooters on the front porch and taking them to the back porch just so that they don't get stolen. And today, I came home from working on the house, and Thomas was like, "Do you know where the Anna and Raya's scooters are at?" And I was like, or no, and then he said, "I think they're stolen."
We couldn't find them. We couldn't find
I
them
was
today.
so angry at Thomas, but we both expressed our point of views and came to an understanding about how to handle those situations in the future. But yes, he was upset with me because I was blaming him for it, and I was upset with him for not taking accountability to telling a 3-year-old to take the scooter to the back porch.
Yeah.
But we worked it out.
We did. I know. It was one of those unfortunate situations where it's like, it sucks that someone came up on our porch and stole them, but I should have just made them take them to the back where we normally keep them, because they've been in the front for like weeks now and nothing's happened.
And to preface this, Thomas grew up in this house.
Yeah.
And his bike was stolen off the front porch when he was a kid.
Yeah.
So
I
the
thought
history is there.
Yes, it definitely is. No, he's totally right. I thought that we were past the thieves stealing phase of living in this house, but apparently we're not. We just need to move to the farm where we have no neighbors.
What else is new?
Mary, yeah, they are gone, and they're not here. They're not in the front. They're not in the back. I feel terrible because Raya and Anna had to walk today as Alan rode his scooter to visit PJ.
So was Alan? Yeah. We know that they were stolen because Zachariah and Anna were home one day when Alan was at school, and they both rode.
Why were they home though?
I don't remember.
Because the boys had school this week, so I don't know. If
Well,
that was
maybe.
it.
Well, maybe it was the Friday before. Zachariah had to miss us. Well, it would have been like 2 Fridays ago. I don't know.
No, they rode him this week.
Well, one day you took the 2 of them to the park and not Alan.
I know. I'm wondering why I did that though, because
Well, I mean-
seems like it was just.
But that explains why theirs were on the front porch and Alan's was on the back porch.
Yeah, I know we rode him just a couple of days ago though, because we ride him almost every day. I don't know.
Install cameras. We actually have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 cameras on our front porch and we have 1 camera on our back porch. Somehow that one situation got missed. But I don't even, I mean, even if we could see the person who did it, it would be hard to, we have a lot of like foot traffic on our street, so it'd be hard to figure out who it was.
Yeah, Sophia, we do have a ring. Yeah, we do, and we have a Google Nest. It's just sometimes they don't alert for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, I will say that's one of the biggest like downfalls of living in town is that we do have a lot of foot traffic and a lot of cars on our street, and times like this are when I would have like value more privacy. Good morning, Ramir. It's not morning here yet, but good morning to you. Hopefully you got a good night's sleep.
What else is new?
Michael, what?
I was just saying, what else is new?
Thank you. This is from Entire World. I don't think they make this anymore. I've been looking for it. They sent us some pieces from their winter collection last year, and this is from it. But I've tried to find it since then, and I haven't been able to find it. But I love it too. I was telling PJ I shrunk it in the wash. So Sophia said Thomas always looks so cozy. Frumpy, cozy, yeah, same thing. Tyler said our ring completely missed someone stealing something 2 weeks ago, but caught every squirrel. Tyler, that is the friggin' truth. Our nest will go off whenever like a car flashes its headlights, but somehow it missed whenever someone stole our trash can last year.
Well, we found out who that was.
They're not watching this, but pretending they are.
Yeah, so we've had this trash can for 10 years, and our doorbell ring caught the person, or had an older person come up on the porch, and she said that she thinks that the garbage people messed up and put her trash can on our property, and she lives like way down the street from us. And we're like, well, we've had that blue trash can for 10 years. We're pretty sure it's ours. And we came home and it was gone. And I drove by her house and I didn't see it, so I drove back by, but really slowly, and I saw it behind her house, and I was so angry. I went to the house and I was like, so your trash can was missing, and our exact same trash can was at our house with our other trash cans, and you came to our house, and after we said, no, we think it's ours, even though we weren't here, you took it to your house. We left the trash can and got a different one, but it was more, for me, it was more of the principle of, no, I really, this is our trash can, and then she still took it.
Everyone's saying, "Who the hell steals a trash can?" It's one of those. It was one of those like big, huge, like oversized trash cans with the lid like built on. It was our favorite trash can.
It was a nice trash can.
It was, and with 3 kids and like all these animals that we have, you need a big trash can like that. So ever since she stole it, we've been worse off. But yeah, this thing about PJ, do not get on his bad side because he will confront you.
Well, no, it's more so like values, morals, and principles.
No,
If
for
you,
sure.
And trust. Like, if you mess up on that, I am really hard to handle.
For sure, but I'm saying it's like good that you're not afraid of confrontation getting in the way of like, I don't know, any of that.
Honestly, I wish I was kind of not so into that because it has really put a lot of...
Like, I don't know if I would have confronted her. Maybe if you weren't in the picture, I would, because I know that you probably would. So I have that like safeguard, but I don't know if I would do that. I'm confrontational in other ways, but definitely not like that. So someone said, doesn't your city provide bins? They don't. Sadly. Batman 117 said, I get the feeling PJ would be scary when angry.
I am.
Yes.
And very...
We don't...
I am very good at expressing how I feel when I'm angry.
I don't know if good is the right word, but he definitely gets the point across. Like, we don't spank our kids, but PJ is like scary enough that we don't like have to. Not that anyone should ever have to spank their kids, because we just don't believe in that, but they get the picture without having that extra.
Well, it's always a conversation, and I always explain
Yes.
why I am upset.
Yeah.
And I always try to implement critical thinking in those situations so that hopefully they can, like specifically when we're talking about the kids, so that they can develop those reasonings.
Mm-hmm.
What else is new? Tiny house. We bought a tiny house. We made a video about it. An update from the last video is that we have sewer now, so we can poop and pee in the tiny home, which is amazing. We have the electric hooked up, the water is hooked up, the gas is hooked up, so we have heat for the water, and it's a gas stove, and what else? Everything it's all finished in that aspect, so we could stay there and be comfortable.
Yes.
We still have to level it out because it's not level yet, which is a simple like 1 hour task. I just have not had the time to do it. And then we have some fun things happening at the pavilion and tiny house coming up. My cousin asked if they could bring their camper and do their daughter's birthday party there. And so we're gonna stay in the tiny house and they're gonna stay in the camper, and then we're gonna celebrate her daughter. Their birthdays are both in the same month, so she puts them together.
So fun.
So the kids will be there. That'll be fun. It'll be in November. And the triplets, the 3 lambs that we had at the farm,
I love that.
they are all doing
They're so big already.
good. Yeah, they're doing great. The pond is finished, but there is still no water in it. We've not had enough rain to fill it up.
I wonder if we just hooked a hose up, how long that would take.
Well, that would be wasteful.
That would. It's so big and so, like, you can't, I feel like from what we've shared, you can't tell how deep, like, we posted something on Instagram this weekend of one of the kids in it, and someone was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how big it was, how deep it was.
To me, it looked bigger in those photos, though.
Which ones? Oh, that
Mhm.
then it does in real life.
Mhm.
I can see that. Oh, speaking of the tiny house, we posted it on Instagram. We did an IGTV, and someone was like, "Wait, was this built for a TV show?" Did you see that comment?
Mhm.
And I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's crazy!" That because it was, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
The tiny house that we bought was actually featured on an HGTV show about tiny homes, and it was a full episode. I don't know. We watched it, I think.
I don't think so. I don't think I did. Is it on Tiny House Nation? No.
I don't remember. But yeah, so it was featured on a show, and then it was
Really
sold to a person, and then we bought it from that person, and that was a nightmare of an experience. But
Yes, it was.
we like went through all these hoops to buy the tiny home, and then like the seller was awful, and it took months to get it, and she had our money and the title of the tiny home, and once we got it, the mover busted all the plumbing in it by hitting it on concrete and then ripped off the siding on one side. And then to top it all off, we walk in it when it's at our house, like a day or two after it was there, and I'm like, my legs are itching, and I look down and they're covered in fleas. So it was infested with fleas. But now the fleas are dead, it's hooked up, and I'm excited to actually be able to stay there. We've stayed there, but we couldn't like use it the way it was supposed to because it wasn't hooked up yet.
We didn't have internet out there yet.
Now it has, oh yeah, we have internet out there, so we can watch TV, and like, I'm excited.
I am too. I'm excited to just clean it too because it's still kind of like muddy and dirty, and I'm excited to wipe it all down and just get it cleaned up.
Terry is 6'4". He said I could not live in a tiny house.
These ceilings are really tall.
Yeah, I couldn't live in a tiny house either. This will be like
2 day thing at the most.
like a weekend getaway type thing, and we're eventually gonna Airbnb it.
That's what I was just about to say. But if we open it up, it'll be like a 2 day thing on it for you guys too. So there were some couple of things that I wanted to. Sopna said it's lovely that the pavilion is being used again. Someone said hi from Syracuse, New York, which is so cool because that's right close to where my mom is from. Mark asked how we came up with the name of the farm.
So the name of the farm is called Ocoee Farm, and it is located in an area called Ocoee, Tennessee, and it is known for whitewater rafting. The 96 Olympics for whitewater rafting was held in Ocoee, and it's at the base of the Appalachian Mountains, so you get that like misty fog in the early mornings. It's so
What
beautiful.
national forest is it? Our
Cherokee National.
Cherokee National. So our land backs right up to that. Our farm.
It's in a little bitty town of like one red light and 5 restaurants, and it's McDonald's, Hardee's, Sonic, and like 2 local restaurants, and
There's a little grocery store.
1 grocery store.
There's like a Family Dollar, and
not a lot to do unless you
There
like
isn't a lot to
outdoorsy
do.
stuff.
But you know what? I randomly opened this book that I love, and it's called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all the small stuff. That's the name of it. And I happened to open to this chapter called Allow Yourself to Be Bored. And there's a blog post going live tomorrow all about it, but this just reminded me of it. And it's okay to be bored sometimes, and it's okay to do nothing. And the author, he's a doctor, and he said that whenever his 2 kids come to him now and say, "Daddy, I'm bored," he says, "Good. Allow yourself. It's okay to be bored. That's fine. Don't do anything." And they're like, "Wait, what?" And he said, in almost every instance, they solve the problem of being bored themselves. But he says that whenever you just allow yourself to be bored, it takes the pressure off of feeling like you have to do something. And he doesn't mean like be bored all day, every day, but he says take a few minutes to be bored, to relax. I think that's something that we are not good at. Like just being bored. I feel like there's always work here to do, there's always clothes to be folded, or like a kitchen to be cleaned, or something, and then at the flip houses there's always work to be done, at the farm there's always work to be done, and it's just like he said that his friend told him that we've gone from being human beings to human doings because we're always doing something and we don't know how to relax anymore. And mind you, this book was written in 1997, so this is nothing new. This is like how human beings are and how they've been for decades. And I don't know, it was a neat perspective. Like, whoever thinks to be bored, like, you just don't, that's not how our minds, I feel like, work. So all that to say, we should be bored more.
Oh my god, I'm bored right now.
You heard it here. Be bored. Be best.
No, so the chalkboard is on that wall behind us. I have wanted Thomas to paint the whole kitchen chalkboard for...
No. Sapna, if you're still here, what do we need in this kitchen? Because Sapna is in my corner. She's been in my corner for 4 years now, or however long we've been here. Let's see if she'll chime in and say what. She said, I can get on board with getting bored. Aranda said, human doings, wow. Right? Jonathan said, yeah, connecting with our subconscious, exactly. Rex says he loves SC. No, it's not boring. Yeah, there we go. Sapna said backsplash. Thank you. We actually talked, I almost talked PJ into it. We've been talking about removing our upper cabinets and doing subway tile.
My thing about this house is that I feel like we put a lot of time into renovating it when we did back in 2017. And we have so many projects going on. So we have the downtown cottage that we're renovating. We have the tiny house that we're wanting to do some stuff to. We have Holiday House that we are in full renovation mode over there. It's like down to studs in some rooms. We have the pavilion that is not finished. We have
Hi Chris from Virginia.
we have plans for the metal building. And so like this house is, I'm like, it's finished.
Yes,
let's be finished
I get
with
it.
But
you know, honestly, this is the only thing I ever harp big time about in this house, and it's because it's technically wrong. Because there was always supposed to be a backsplash.
we ran out of time.
And we ran out of time for the show, for the pilot that we did. And that's my only thing. I'm like, there was supposed to be one and there's not one.
For those of you that are like, what are you talking about? We filmed a pilot for HGTV back in 2016, 17.
Yeah.
And don't get us started on that. It was a nightmare. But
we've never talked about that before. No. Don't say that.
Oh, yeah,
maybe we'll dive into that.
We were legally bound not to, and we still probably are, but
maybe we'll dive into that one day. Yeah.
It was not the network. But yeah, we didn't have time to finish it, and then we just never did.
We never did. It's
But
kind of like our laundry room.
looks fine.
I mean, it does. No, it does. It does. I love our kitchen. It does. But it was like our laundry room. We didn't finish our laundry room either. And PJ just finished that last year. So that's 4 years in? 3 years in? I don't know. Alejandro said, let's talk about it. Will said, spill.
I think we should.
Right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Tonight?
Yeah.
How long have we been live for? There's 500 people. This says 500. Okay, hold on. Let's ask. If you want us to talk about the HGTV show and why it was such a nightmare.
And let's preface this by saying it was not the network. We
love HGTV.
We never had any. Yeah, it was not the network.
Dylan said T, so let us know.
Okay.
We've been sitting on this for so long.
So when we
I need more wine.
when we filmed the pilot, well, first of all, there's so much, guys.
Oh my gosh.
So it was a pilot, and the process for one is so long. From like when we first were contacted till the actual pilot aired on the show was a 2-year process, right?
No, it was about a year and like a year and a half.
A year and a half. So I was 6 months old. It was a year and a half process. But what about until we got our answer? That was 2 years. When we found out that we did not get the show, it was 2 years.
Yeah, I think it was about 2 years.
Because they aired the pilot 2 different times, like 2 months apart or something. And so from start to like from start to thinking we may have a TV show to finding out we did not get picked up was a 2-year process. That was the first, like, ugh, that sucked.
Yeah.
Because we also could not talk about it. We had to like turn down things during that time frame because of like stuff that we were doing.
Turn down like work, like collaborations that could have made us money is what he means by that.
Yeah. We filmed the show for 6 months, and I was here every day from like 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. every night. That was awful. There were 4 people in the show: me and Thomas, his sister Sydney, and Tanya.
Tanya was our neighbor at the time, and I went to school with her. I went to college with her. We love her. We love her.
It's a reality TV based show, and as you know, those are not
Based in reality.
right. And what was frustrating, I think, for us is that we were doing the work, and they were still scripting it, and we just felt like it was like, what was the point? Like, we're really doing this. Let's not do that. The biggest thing for us was that we were married at the time. We were husbands, and we never used the term partner because we've never felt like in our relationship we went from dating to boyfriends to fiancés to husbands, and we never used the word partner. And when we were filming, we had issues throughout the whole thing with the production company, and the biggest one was when we were shooting the what is like the intro to the show.
Right, where it's like, I'm Thomas, and this is my husband PJ, and like PJ's like, and Thomas is my husband, and he's blah blah.
We wanted to say husband,
Yeah.
and they were really pushing us to say partner, and even used the like explanation of, is one word worth like.
They're like, we don't want to alienate a potential audience, and they feel like that the word partner, and as a reminder, this was back in 2017, 2016, so this was 5 years ago, and so much has changed in that time. And they were saying, you know, saying the word husband might alienate a potential audience, and is it worth an entire show? And then we were looking at it like, well, this is an opportunity to use the word husbands and open up that door so that, you know, kids like us, whenever we were young watching HGTV, because we've been watching it for 20 plus years, see 2 husbands on the show using the word husbands, being unabashedly open and married and just accepting. And so we fought back on that. And I remember getting the script and seeing the paper, and it said partners. And we were like, hold on a second, no, we have a problem with this. And we like talked to the producers, and we had phone conversations, and we went back and forth. And I don't know, if you watch the pilot, then you know that we ended up getting our wishes, and we did say husband in it, which was a nice little victory.
Mm-hmm. Mary said, was the money good? Mm-mm.
No, oh my gosh. So guys, you want some tea? Oh, I cannot believe we're doing this. There's almost like no money in.
Well, in like pilots and season 1s of TV shows like that, there's no money in it.
There's no money. Most of your money comes from endorsement deals that you get or advertisements, unless your show is like a bona fide hit and you have room to negotiate in seasons 2, 3, and etc. But no, the money was not good in season and for what we did.
The pilot is not available to view. I think we did live stream it on our Facebook channel back in 2017.
17. In July of 17.
I think
the second time.
That's still on there.
Yeah, if you want to go to our Facebook page and scroll all the way back to July, you can watch
That's
pilot.
the only way I think you can watch it, but
It was a lot. I don't know, the whole experience. And then this is a completely side note, but I'm going to mention it anyway since we're here. We asked one of our friends who had a
No.
You don't want to go there?
No, I would not.
You went to the other places.
I know, but no.
And I'm saying, basically, what I was going to say was it was part of the experience that we had, and just like all around, even to the very last moment that we found out. Well, we haven't even talked about that.
What?
How we found out that it was airing.
Oh, yeah.
That has to go. That goes along with that story.
Yeah.
but-
That's fun. Well, I mean, no.
So, well, basically, the story how we found out, we kept saying, please let us know when the pilot is going to premiere so that we have time to promote it because we had followed other people who had pilots on HGTV and they were giving their audiences a huge advance notice. They were saying, make sure you catch my pilot premiere on HGTV in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever. And so that was the one thing we kept saying to our production company, like, please let us know when it's premiering so we can let our audience know. And back then we had about 40,000 followers on Instagram. Was it 40 or 60?
Oh wait, maybe so when we started it was 20.
But when it was about to premiere, it was like 40 or 60. So we had like a good sized audience that we could have advertised it to and gotten people excited for it. The day before it premiered, we get a text from a person who has a show on HGTV, and she says, "Oh my gosh," and it's a screenshot of a tweet. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know that you had a show that was coming out tomorrow." And we were like, "I'm sorry, what? We didn't know that our show was coming out tomorrow." And so someone, I don't think know who, but someone dropped the ball on letting us know. So we had one day, we had less than 24 hours.
Which I mean, they don't have to tell us at all, but it would have been nice to know.
But it's funny because everyone else had time that we were, aware of. Everyone else had time to promote their show. So I feel like we can say all this now because even though we maybe sound bitter, we can say with 100% certainty, and this is something that we decided a long time ago, that it was honestly for the best. Well,
Mary said, any perks? The biggest perk, and we're going to sound really salty after this, but
what?
The biggest perk was that we did a house that we were planning on to live in, this house, and there was a budget to go towards renovations for the house that was used for the pilot, and that money we got to use for the house. So that was amazing. That was a decent amount of money, but other than that, there were really no perks.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we learned that we don't think we want to do TV, and that we have much more creative freedom doing what we're doing now on social media and kind of writing our own narrative.
Yeah,
that was a perk.
Yeah.
And just kind of seeing how TV works. It's
definitely not. I mean, it was neat. Like Thomas said, we both have said we would do it again just because it was a neat experience to go through. Yeah. But for me, there was like 2 different times where I tried to quit the show or just like say, I don't want to do this anymore.
And the producers would call in and be like, PJ, hold on, wait, please reconsider.
Yeah, but...
And PJ, which I think we've talked about before, he lost like 15 pounds.
It was a really stressful. This was before I was seeing a therapist, and before I was medicated, and it was just I'm a very anxious person. I have a lot of anxiety,
which is part of why he is so hardworking and successful. But keep going.
But yeah, it was a very stressful time in my life. I was very unhappy with how life was going, which is crazy because it should have been a really happy time, and it might have been a really happy time if I had been medicated, but yeah.
Well, yeah. And I wasn't going to reveal who was saying all that, right?
Well, I didn't know.
No, I wasn't going to.
Oh, okay.
But can I say that part or no? Not who it was, but the story?
Sure.
That's what I was going to say was, I would never say who it was. Oh my gosh. I'm not that...
I mean, it's kind of just a petty thing.
It is petty. I'm not even going to go there. Never mind. But basically, the way we found out about the show kind of fit in line with our whole experience of the show, and so yeah, but it is what it is. And like I said, we made our peace with it. We made our peace with it even before we found out that it didn't get picked up. We were kind of at that point, we were like, we just want to know if it got picked up or not, and either way I think we're going to be fine. And so our producer, what?
I was just going to say, because it took a while to find out.
Yeah, it took months. And our producer called us and was like, guys, they didn't pick up the show for a series. And at that point we were like, oh, like, whew, it was just a relief to know. And then we realized, just like I mentioned, the creative control was ours because we had 0 creative control whenever we were filming. And I think that was the biggest thing. And then we traveled after that. We got a bunch of we were able to grow our business, and I think it just all worked out for the best.
Here in the UK, Tom Hardy sometimes reads children's books on
Where?
kids' TV. We'll have to look that up.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
Hey Joe from Phoenix.
Todd said, excuse me, if you had been picked up, you might have been too busy for the kiddos.
Yeah,
We
I don't,
probably
yeah,
would've
the kids wouldn't have happened.
We probably
That's
would have been
for
too
sure.
busy for a lot of things.
Because that is actually really true because we had talked about foster care before the show even was a thing, and because of the show, we put it off for 2 years. As soon as we found out about the show not getting picked up within, I would say, a year, we started. When did we get we got licensed in
2019.
so.
Well, then we were gonna do it, but then we started like traveling more, and we missed the class. You remember the first time? I always forget about that. We missed the first foster care class.
But yeah, the kids. If we had done the show, there would have been. We would have not had the time to do that.
Oh, that's so crazy. If we would have not missed, if we didn't go on that cruise, I think it was a cruise, and missed the first foster care class, we may not have had our kids because we probably would have gotten another placement.
Mm-hmm.
That is so crazy. There's so many like, I don't know, what's that called? Serendipity? I don't know.
You need to move to Holiday House. I'm 30,
Who said that?
30 to 40 minutes drive to city.
Okay, so Ken said you need to move to Ken Doll said you need to move to Holiday House. I'm a 30 to 40 minute drive to a city. They live in a rural area. It's great for kids. No delivery, fast food, or big box under 40 minutes distance. Big but fresh eggs just out the door.
Love that. Our chickens are so close to like almost being old enough
Are
to
they?
laying eggs. Yeah.
You know, Ken Doll, that's one of the biggest things that I struggle with, which I know we're not even in any position to move anytime soon out there, but like that's kind of what we've been talking about the last year since we bought Holiday House is like, do we move out to the farm? Would we ever do that full time? And I think my biggest hesitation is the convenience of living in town and like just a short trip to Walmart or like any restaurant that we want and then close to their school. And it's like, but at the same time, PJ grew up on a farm and he always talks about how living out there was like so invaluable and like nothing compares to it.
There's just things that you learn when experiencing nature and animals and farm life like that that you just don't get when you live in the city. But there's also like, I feel like there's benefits of living in the city as well. So it's hard. I think splitting the difference between like using them both as, and the thing is, for me, it's always been like if we can make the farm generate money, whether that be like cottages out there or whatever, then my argument is that it feels excessive to have this house and the farm.
Yeah.
But if it's a business and it's generating money, then it's not excessive, and then it's making it's profiting, and it makes sense to have the farm and this house. But so I think that would be a long-term goal. If we keep the farm, it needs to make sense to keep the farm.
Yeah.
Or we need to make a decision and keep one and sell the other.
Yeah, I agree. Our farm is great because it's very long and narrow, so we could still like the front half of the farm be a generating income business, and then the back could be like for us if we wanted to go out there on weekends or.
Mm-hmm.
So we could do both.
How about a farm reality show? We've talked about if we would ever be open to doing TV again, and we have both said that we would most likely only do TV again if it was with the Magnolia network. Joanna Gaines is my favorite person in the world.
I love her.
She would be like the person that I would want to meet, and she randomly follows my personal account on Instagram.
They talk, you guys. They talk sometimes.
Like by talks, like I'll message her and she'll send me a heart.
That is enough talking to last us.
That's
a
enough for
lifetime.
me because I love her so much.
Yes.
But I think we would do a show on her network. I love all of the shows that they have on the network.
I I do too.
They inspire me to want to like create, and
It's
that's
such
a
a
good thing.
it's such a that's so true. It's such a different field than HGTV. I feel like, and they've even said from the very beginning, their network is more about storytelling.
Mhm.
I think they do a good job with that.
They do a great job, yeah.
But also, we would have to have creative control. That was I thought you were gonna say that. I thought you were gonna say we both agreed on it, but we'd have to have more control.
Well, that is something that you get further into doing shows.
Yeah.
You get more creative control when you're on like season 2 and 3 and 4, but one thing I was going to mention, I was actually going to do this at the beginning of the video. We have decided to alternate between doing like a vlog style video and a live. So like, so this Sunday we do a live. Next Sunday will be like a vlog style video, and then the Sunday after that will be another live.
Mm-hmm.
That way, after doing these again, we have realized that we have missed doing them and really enjoy talking with you guys.
Yes,
So,
that is true. I was going through,
and there's so much that happens in between, like the vlogs that we aren't able to put in the vlogs, and it's like a nice way to catch up with everybody. And
that's true.
so,
It is. I love that. I love that you said that, because whenever I was going through, when I was setting this live up for tonight, I was going through and we were, I mean, I know you guys remember if Sopna's still on here, she remembers, and Lane and Dylan, like we were going live every week. And then last year we went live, I looked like 3 times in all of 2020.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And so, but now, like PJ said, like I think we did realize how much we miss doing this and like talking to you guys and catching up. Because it is fun. And it's a nice change of pace from the vlogs that you guys see every week. Good. Alejandro said Netflix would be an amazing place for you too.
We talked about that. It was Netflix and Magnolia.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is since the show we've been approached dozens of times by production companies, and we've done Skype interviews where they'll pitch us, and it's just never worked out. And it's funny, since the show, every single time it hasn't worked out, we've been like, okay. So anyways, what else is up? Like we've just never. It's. I feel like we're in a good place mentally.
I forgot about we were pitched to HGTV again and Magnolia for the farm, and it was before the pandemic, and it was the show was going to be about renovating. It was about the farm, so like renovating the farm, renovating the metal building, and turning it into a venue.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't get picked up, but yeah.
So what we need to do is just hire someone to film it, because filming and editing takes a lot of time. It does.
Okay, so we have been on here for about an hour, so I think we're gonna.
Oh my god. It has been an hour.
I think we're gonna end it for tonight. Next Sunday will be a vlog, but we'll live chat before it.
Are you committing to that? Okay.
Committing to what?
To live chatting before it. We used to do that, you remember?
We always live chat before the vlog.
No, not before the vlog. We used to. Do you guys remember that? Who's been here long enough to remember how we used to go live 30 minutes before? Do you remember?
Well,
and then the vlog would premiere.
When we live chatted before, it was because it was up to me.
No, because we didn't have kids.
No. You're the reason why we don't live chat before now.
We could.
Well, we're gonna.
So we're gonna live chat before, 30 minutes before, or 20 minutes before, whatever.
We'll
We're
say
gonna do this.
We'll just say 10 minutes. Oh, you're saying like live.
That's what I'm saying.
I said live chat, which is what
we always live chat during the premiere. But what I was saying is, do you remember a time when we would do this?
Like go live.
Yeah. So guys, that's what I was saying. Who's been here long enough to remember? We used to do this every Sunday, or whenever they would premiere, and then we'd be like, it's whatever time. Let's hang up, and we'll see you on the premiere of our video. Do you remember that?
I do remember.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why I said, you're committing to that. You gonna do that?
We'll let you know. I don't care. It's the same thing as live chatting. We have to be there for it.
That's hilarious. Lane says he remembers. Alejandro remembers. Aranda remembers. Yes. Oh, see, it's funny. PJ doesn't remember, and I didn't remember until just now, because it's been a year.
It's doozy of a year.
I'm not kidding, guys. I started writing a post about this and I never finished because of dad brain. Dad brain is a real thing. I know you probably don't think it is, but it definitely is. Same thing as mom brain. It is a real thing.
I just call it Thomas brain.
No, it is not just Thomas brain.
It was there before.
I googled it and there were so many. It's because I've been a dad inside for a long time. There are so many articles about dad brain and how you just have so much going on that you can't remember things. But anyways, Dylan said to be decided. Yes, exactly, Dylan. We'll let you know how next Sunday goes. Exactly.
All right. Thank you guys so much for taking your Sunday, whatever time it is where you're at, with us.
Yes, Monday morning, Sunday night.
Until next time.
Bye, you guys.
Bye bye.
See you later. You're gonna turn it off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if I can figure out how.